Hello everyone, my name of course is Artimage and welcome to day 11 of VEDA. I was watching a video on the YouTube channel Overly Sarcastic Productions on urban fantasy and its tropes. And it talks about the integration of certain cultural aspects into current modern day contemporary entertainment. And this made me think back to a recent piece of media that I engaged with that is a good exhibition of this issue, that being the PlayStation 4 title Until Dawn. Now there are going to be some spoilers for the game, so if you wish to experience it for yourself without any sort of indication as to what's going on, I suggest you leave now. Everyone gone? I don't know, I can't see you guys. Until Dawn is a game that is set up to be essentially your basic horror movie with stupid teenagers in a horror setting. And there are two sources of antagonism within the game. And the one that's important to this situation is it involves the Algonquin folklore creature of the Wendigo, which is not how it's pronounced, but I don't know how to properly pronounce it. So I'm sorry to everyone with familiarity with the Algonquin culture and language and folklore. So in terms of certain aspects, the Wendigo is presented fairly accurately. It's a cannibalistic creature, it is vulnerable to fire, it is capable of mimicking voices, things like that. In plenty of other aspects though, it is represented as just a monster. Now the reason I bring this up is the Wendigo was introduced in its folklore as an allegory for human greed. And there can absolutely be justifications for this. I know a lot of people speak of the idea of cultural appropriation as though it's inherently some negative action. But like with the use of something mythological from a culture for entertainment, context matters. I mean, if we look at even European-style fairy tales, those were developed as ways of giving children warnings of behave yourselves, don't do this thing we don't want you to do, or this bad thing that we're telling you is going to happen will happen, even though it's not real and can't. And you could certainly look at other stories from other cultures in a similar fashion. The Wendigo may have been presented as a story saying, think of the tribe and the nation and your peoples before yourself. And this too may have been based on an encounter that the peoples had at the time that they couldn't explain that eventually resolved itself. And so they developed a story around it to impart this wisdom on their future generations. I think that if you want to involve these things in your works, you have to give at least a degree of respect to the original source and context that brought this idea on. Do your best to find primary sources. Talk to the peoples who it comes from. Get as much information as you can and discuss what you want to do with it and the best way that you can have it presented. And remember, no matter what you do, nothing is going to be 100% inoffensive. That doesn't give you free rein to be as offensive as you possibly can. Certainly, you have the right to free speech, but you don't have the right to avoid repercussions from practicing that speech. So this episode feels kind of soapboxy, but I got really thoughtful watching this video. I will provide a link down below. I suggest you all go and watch it. And until tomorrow, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll talk to you soon.